Hey guys, and welcome to LoveCast, the Boys Love podcast, where we talk about everything related to boys love. I'm your host Pixie, and with me are my co-hosts Alexa and Coco.
Hey guys, we're back again.
Yes, and today we are talking about all the boys love of 2020, all the good ones, the bad ones, and everything in between.
And there was certainly a lot.
Yeah, 2020 was the overdrive of boys love.
Despite the pandemic.
Yeah. Alexa, did you watch your homework?
I started it. I started my homework. I didn't finish it yet. I'm a slow binge watcher. So, because I'm used to watching things as they air, so it's hard for me to sit down and just watch everything in one go. But I did watch the first two episodes so far, and I am loving it. And so it does have, I just started, but I understand already where everything, all the love for it comes from. Hopefully by the next episode, I'll be able to say I finished it and I can get a good grade on my homework.
Yeah. So, what's yours, favorite all-time 2020 BL?
I think even though it technically still has one episode left, it has to go to Cherry Magic for me. I was in a pretty big BL slump for most of this year, and I feel like that drama just single-handedly brought me out of it. I watched the first episode, and then within one afternoon, I was completely caught up and just could not stop
Mm-hmm.
searching gifs on Tumblr and reading fics and everything like
Mm-hmm.
that. So I think it's got to go to Cherry Magic for me.
Yeah, I think Cherry Magic is pretty on the top of the list for me too. But like Coco, I'm very much for GSP. It was just amazing. Uh, and we might just mention a disclaimer here because none of us have seen I Told the Sunset About You. What?
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah. I, for me, I got so insulted by the original price of
Yeah.
the show that I refused to watch it until they put it out in for free.
I kept saying I was gonna start it, and people were streaming the episodes, and I had a lot of opportunities to, but
Mm-hmm.
I never got there, and next thing I knew it was already finished,
Yeah.
and now I'm kind of just trying to find the motivation to go back and watch it. I think I will, just from what I saw about it, it does look like the kind of drama that I'll really like, but
Mm-hmm.
getting myself to watch it, like you said, one with the price gouging on it, as well as just there's when things are very hyped up, it kind of makes me less eager to watch it. So everyone's like, you have to watch It Stay, and I'm like, well, maybe.
Maybe not.
But I think I'll get to it probably because I know they're doing a second season. I'll probably end up watching it before the second season's supposed to
Yeah.
start, so I can try and watch that one live.
Yeah, like I don't doubt that it's good. I think it was wrong of them to price it that
Yeah.
high for just to rent the episodes. You're not even getting them.
Yeah, just to rent. That's what's insane.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the company that produced it, I think Nadao is what it's called. That's a big company in Thailand. So they can't really claim that they needed the funds or anything like that. It's not like it was coming from a small self-produced little company. That's a big company that produces a lot of big mostly I think dramas in Thailand, but it's not a small company by any means. So there was really no reason for them to charge it except that they wanted to take advantage of BL fans. That's very clear. That's what they were trying to do, and that makes me bitter.
Yeah, and I don't have any problems with paying for content and stuff, but that was just far off.
Yeah. What was it originally $12?
Yes.
That's insane.
per
And then they
episode.
kicked it down to $6, but that's still like,
Yeah,
oh my God, that's so much money for one episode,
to
and you only
rent.
got to keep it for 30 days.
And I'm gonna remind you, I live in like the richest country in the world. Everything is expensive here, and I think
And
that
it
was
was
too
still too
much.
expensive for you.
Yes.
That's when you know you're doing it wrong.
Mm-hmm. No, that was crazy.
But yeah, so none of us can say that's our favorite because none of us watched it.
Yes.
But I feel like those were the three. Like, if I think GSP, Cherry Magic, and It Say are like the three I've been seeing everyone say. A lot of people at least say were their favorites of the year.
Yeah, and I'm kind of I have the feeling that Manner of Death is gonna be that for me too.
Yeah, I'll agree. It's still too early to say for sure, but
Mm-hmm. It just has like 4 episodes if you have the VIP. So yeah.
the way it's trending, it's definitely gonna be a favorite. But I need to wait at least
Mm-hmm.
until it's like halfway through to say for sure.
One show that really kind of um, surprised me and at the same time was really good was Game Boys, the Filipino. The thing is, the show came out just when the quarantine started, or they were filming during quarantine, and they did it in such a creative way. It had really good story to it. It's not just superficial.
Right.
So even though most of it is just like the two main characters sitting in different rooms, like talking to each other through some Zoom kind of thing, it's still got like an engaging story, and the acting is really good. And yeah, it surprised me a lot that they could do this with so many restrictions on it.
Yeah. Yeah, they really kind of pioneered the whole quarantine drama market basically, because I know a
Mm-hmm.
lot of dramas since then have done like the similar style of recording it over like that they're video calling with each other, but they were kind of the first
Mm-hmm.
one that actually like started
Yeah.
that. And I think that from what I've seen, it was done really well, and
Yes.
it
Yeah,
just
the thing about it is that a lot of other BLs in the Philippines started doing the same thing,
hmm
but none of them did it as well as
right,
Game Boys, and that's kind of surprising when you have like the first show coming out doing it the
is doing
best.
it the best. Yeah,
Yeah. So Hello Stranger was also very good, but they had kind of a different twist on it. And I liked it a lot, but I still prefer Game Boys. And maybe I'll convince you guys to watch some of these.
yeah. Oh, they're like all on my list. It's just now my list is so long because I didn't watch anything, and I don't even
Mm-hmm.
know where to start now. I was gonna say the one that kind of really surprised me, and it's also still airing, but Gen Y, the series. I, I mean, I started watching it because I really like Kim Cop, and
Mm-hmm.
everyone kind of said, well, it's basically gonna be like an alternate universe, Two Moons. They kind of just like it's a very similar story with some like character name changes. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. I'm still gonna watch it. Like I really wanted to see Kim Cop lead a BL, and like I've been really surprised by how much I'm enjoying it. Like it's not a super revolutionary story, but I really like the main couple. Obviously, I think that Kim On and Copter have really, really good chemistry, and I'm so glad that they actually get to be in a drama where it shines. But also, like, there's a lot of characters in it, but they're all interesting, and it's kind of interesting that so many of the relationship lines are left very open ended, and it kind of gives the fans a lot of like room to kind of guess and play at who's gonna end up together, like especially with like Yu, like who's he gonna end up with, and there's a lot of other like smaller characters that are kind of really up in the air. So it's kind of really fun to guess along each week and see like where all the romance lines are leading.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like fun and it's just like a cute light drama and I've been really enjoying it each week.
Yeah, same. I think for me, Gen Y is like everything I wanted Two Moons to be.
Exactly. It's giving us like everything that we were robbed of with the whole original Two Moon situation. Plus, I think it's more well done than Two Moons was to begin with. So, in general, just like the writing, and obviously all of the actors have had a few years to like improve, so their acting is a lot better. So, like, I think it's just like you said, it's everything Two Moons like we wanted it to be, and then even more than that, I feel like.
Yeah, and there's no God.
There's no God.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
the Lord.
Oh my God, I'm so glad. I'm sorry for anyone who likes Scott. He's just oh, he's to me it feels his acting is like a dead fish. I'm sorry.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, there's like no
Definitely.
emotion in him whatsoever. And he didn't really fit the role of Fa to begin with.
And you can tell he
Yeah.
didn't enjoy playing the role or the character. And obviously, the stuff came out after the fact about some of his beliefs and stuff like that. But like even watching the show, he just never seemed like he was putting too much effort into anything. And that kind of ties into him only feeling like he had one expression the whole time. But you can just tell, like, you can tell when people seem like they're not enjoying the roles they're playing. And I feel like that was definitely the case for him.
He just didn't want to be there, really.
Yeah, he did not.
He was just using it as a stepstone to get into
He was there to get the
straight.
check and get the fame.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
Fair best.
Korean BLs have started
They're finally in the
popping up.
market.
Yeah. I was surprised at first, and I was really pleasantly surprised that there's like this aesthetic to Korean dramas.
Yeah,
It just hits different for some reason.
yeah.
It's so short, but it's like it just hits you, and it's really good.
It's they're very cinematic in the way they film things. So, like, and a lot of them were, I think with most of them, they kind of did it so that they released each episode and then they released the full thing as a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that really works for the way that Korean dramas are shot and filmed. And so I think that adds to the experience too.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, I honestly did not expect I wanted Korean BLs, but like I did not expect that to come out of 2020. So like I'm really glad, even though we're just getting like short web dramas right
Mm-hmm.
now, like that's such a good start, and I'm hoping that means that in the near future there's going to be some more full length ones coming. So that's really exciting.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully. Like we have like 3 new ones coming in 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really excited. I think they're different, and they have interesting storylines. Do you guys have a favorite amongst the ones who already come out? Did you see them?
Yeah, I did.
I think yeah,
Yay.
those I got to.
Oh, good.
I think for me, it was Where Your Eyes Linger.
Mm-hmm.
I still think that's my favorite of. I haven't seen Wish You yet, but I did see Where Your Eyes Linger and Mr. Heart, and I think Where Your Eyes Linger is still the one that takes the cake for me.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's very different stories. Like Where Your Eyes Linger is sort of a little more dramatic and serious,
Yeah,
while
Yeah.
Mr. Heart is pure fluff.
it was very sweet and very
Mm-hmm.
cute.
It was. I agree that I probably would say Where Your Eyes Linger is the one that I liked the most. I've seen the episode that are out of Wish You, and while it's very sweet, it's kind of has a slow start.
Yeah, I did hear the pacing was kind of slow paced,
Mm-hmm.
a little bit hard to get into. I think that's a hard thing to do when, it's already only an 8 episode drama.
Mm-hmm. And like the episodes are so short. Like when they realize they release it as a movie, it's gonna probably be fine. But as the episodes, when it's so slow paced, it kind of gets, yeah, I can see people falling off just because it's not engaging enough yet.
I think Korean dramas are known for their slow pacing. And so, if they were doing a full 16 or even 12 episode drama with a little bit longer episodes, it could work better. But I don't think that like the traditional slow K-drama pacing really works as well for short web dramas just because there's so little time that you're working with to get the story in there.
Coco, which one did you like best?
I would say Where Your Eyes Linger too because I feel like more dramatic. Whereas Mr. Hot it was cute and funny, but I did like it. I did really enjoy it, but Where Your Eyes Linger you were wait like I watched that as it aired, and it was just like waiting. I hated waiting. And it was just like I just loved the chemistry as well. Like I love the series now, and it was just like I think I like the series, but I like the comedic bit of like Mr. Hart and how fluffy it was, but I'm always for the serious ones as well.
Did you guys watch the Because of You, the Taiwanese one?
Yeah.
I didn't watch Because of You, no.
It's one of my favorites this year. I think it was interesting because they had like 3 different couples, and or was it more? Was it? I can't remember
I think
now.
it was 3. Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
it was 3 brothers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it was interesting because they kind of managed to balance the stories out.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there is a main couple, kinda, with the brother and the assumed brother. but they kind of let the other ones have enough screen time too. Just like kind of with the My Engineer.
Yeah, it was just like enough like of each one.
It never left you wanting more from, the side couples.
Yeah.
That's good.
Sometimes if there's just like one main couple and it goes to like some irrelevant bit that you don't really care about, whereas this all had like important bits.
Yeah, and every couple kind of had like interesting storylines. It wasn't just like for filling time. So and the acting was good, obviously. So it's one of my favorites.
Like a rumor to be a season 2, but I can't remember if it's actually confirmed.
Ooh.
I think they said that it's confirmed that
I'm sure I've seen it on Instagram on the official.
I
on
think
the actors page. Maybe I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Don't hold me to it though.
It is. So what about what's the worst BL you saw this year?
I would say Love by Chance too. Like I watched that and I was like, no, goodbye.
I didn't even start it.
Don't do it. It's
I
awful.
loved the original Love by Chance. I really did. It was one of like the first BLs that I watched, so like it really has a special place in my heart. But everything, I was planning to watch it, and then the more I saw people talking about it, the more I was just like, I don't think I'm gonna like this, and I'd rather just stick with liking season 1 as opposed to watching season 2 and having it be ruined for me.
Yeah, because I was sitting, like, every episode, I was, like, sitting there, okay, give them a chance. It's gonna get better.
Oh, no.
It's gonna get better. It did not get better.
Yeah.
I couldn't take Tin and Can. I couldn't take them. And then he was crying, and I was like, would you please stop crying?
Yeah,
like, the
Pert
crying
was
was
just
really
crying
bad.
every episode, and it's just, give it a break. And they didn't, like, give Techno and Kenkla proper.
That's what I expected.
Yeah, but they kind of teased it. Like, they showed them a little bit, and then they just didn't.
Yeah,
And
it's just, oh my god.
what is that? Are they waiting for a season 3 with the Techno and Ken Claw?
Oh God. Please no. No more
Don't
seasons.
prolong it
No
anymore.
more seasons.
No, this season was so trash that no one wants a season 3.
I was so surprised, like, when it started airing, I was like, I feel like no one is talking about this. And I guess it's just because it was that bad that people, like, when I was watching the first season, like, every social media platform I was on, like, people were talking about it and watching the episodes together and all that stuff. And then season 2 started, and I didn't even realize it started at first because I didn't see anyone talking about it.
I,
And I guess
I th-
I understand now why
yeah,
no
I
one was talking
think
about
a
it.
lot of people were like shell shocked that this
Yeah.
didn't, like, because New is the director, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
He has a decent reputation
yeah,
for, some pretty good dramas.
yeah, he does. And we were expecting a lot, but then this stuff came out and we're all just, what is this? What's happening? Why did they reboot Tin Can's story and just
Why,
like,
yeah.
That was so weird that
Why
they did that.
couldn't they have just continued on and like developed
That
it
would
a
have made
bit
it so
more?
much better, I feel like.
But no, we've got to just change the whole storyline. What is the point?
yeah. And it feels kind of like they did it because they needed to fill the time.
Yeah, they needed more content, yeah.
Yeah, so that they didn't have to go into Ken Claus and Techno Story and the brothers of Tom and Tar.
Yeah.
Tar,
Yeah,
yeah.
because they knew it was both those relationships are kind of controversial. So
Yeah.
they probably wanted to stay away from the controversial stuff. But
But I feel like a lot of people were watching for
And then
those.
at least we would have seen some
yes.
chemistry.
Like, especially Techno and Kenkla, I feel like a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people were watching for that pairing from what I saw.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So that's unfortunate.
Yeah, but like Kenkla and Techno is really controversial because people like are getting really up in arms about this whole
Mm.
consent thing. But like, okay, I agree that non-consensual stuff is not good, but nowhere in the Kenkla Techno story does it describe what Kenkla is doing as a good thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Right.
it paints him as a bad guy at the start, but that just
Yeah.
Techno is it kind of just falls for it anyways, and then he forgives him.
Yeah, because Techno is dumb as
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, he just wants King Claw. That's all he wants. He's not bothered about anything else.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, he is so dumb and naive that he falls for it. And
Yeah.
like, okay, he does like kind of makes Ken Club pay a little
Yeah,
at the end,
but it was just
but
a tiny bit. I
yeah,
mean, he put a
it's
tracker in his bag, and you're just like, oh yeah, just
yeah,
leave a couple of letters at my
basically.
door, and I'll
Yeah.
forgive you.
But whatever you say about them, Ken Club really does love
He does.
techno.
Hmm.
Yeah. He just didn't know how to go about it.
Exactly. He just expressed it in the wrong way.
Yeah,
It
very
came
wrong.
from a
And
good place, but
yeah.
that's about it.
Yeah. So I was really excited to see it on screen, but no,
We got
they
nothing.
just shied away from the whole thing.
It was just disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the ones, and it's hard because I really liked some aspects of it, but like when I think about it overall, I feel like it kind of just lost what it had to start with was Why Are You?
Mm.
Um,
Mm.
I really liked Fighter and Tutor. I honestly at this point I think I'm in the minority of people who preferred that pairing, but like the drama got screwed over
Mm-hmm.
so badly by COVID, and
Mm-hmm.
it was just so unfortunate to see Saifazan's story just kind of fall apart because they couldn't finish filming
Mm-hmm.
what they needed to film to make it cohesive.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like even with, the special episodes, like they were good, and I think that people appreciated being able to see them more, but it still didn't make their story feel more complete, and
Mm-hmm.
we never got the full feeling of seeing it Saifazan all together as a full like couple and see their storyline play out fully. And so I think that really came back to bite the drama in the butt. And as much as I loved Fighter and Tudor, even their story at the end kind of just became
pure fan service.
Them making out. Yeah. Them making out because they couldn't film any more content. And so, like, you know, they were just trying to stretch whatever episodes worth of content they had over the whole 12 episodes or 13 episodes. And by, like, the last third of the drama, it kind of just didn't have any substance left. And, you know, there was all those side characters that just kind of disappeared. And it's really unfortunate because I feel like it did start off fairly strong. And it was probably the biggest victim, I think, of the pandemic, because I don't think any other drama kind of really had to cut off filming the way, I mean, others did, but I just feel like it got impacted so extensively by it. And it's so unfortunate because I did like a lot of it, but when I look at it as a big overall full drama, I feel like it just kind of really did not live up to what it could have been.
Yeah, I feel like they when it all started that they couldn't film the rest of the scenes, they should have taken a break and figured out how to do it instead of, like, because what they put out was very subpar. It didn't feel like complete. It felt too much fan service. It went over the top.
Yeah.
And like the relationship between Fighter and Tudor is like, it's one of my favorite tropes. Like the whole enemy to lover kind of thing. And like the aggression and drama in that is like, it's my favorite thing. And it just disappointed me so much that it kind of just ended up like this fan service love fest.
Yeah. Even, like, how many beach episodes did they have? Like, 3 out of the 13 were, like, beach episodes. And I'm like, one was great. The first one, it was spicy. It was good. I liked it. But then the week after that was one. And then the finale was one. And it's just like, how many times do we need to see them making out at the beach, guys? Like, we get it.
Yeah.
And it's like, even, you know, even the way they tried to resolve all the rest of the character storylines, like,
oh my God,
just like random little scenes here and there, like, it just, I agree that they should have taken a break, even if it needed to be like a multiple week break, like, just to figure out like how they were going to do it instead of trying to use what they had and then tack stuff on after the fact, which didn't work well for them.
Yeah. Even the whole Jew Blue storyline, when they're just like, 1 minute they're enemies and the next minute he's like winking at them and telling them to come inside his house to have sex. I was like,
yeah,
what
that was
the hell?
so weird. That was so weird. And like the cat couple, or like, what was even going on there? He always meowed at him. I was just like,
yeah.
They wanted to give a lot more, I think, to those side couples, and they just couldn't. And so they just all seem like really weird. And it's like you said, 1 minute they hated each other, and then all of a sudden they're like in love and going into each other's houses and meowing at each other. And I'm like, what is happening here?
Yeah, it was
if
so
they just
random.
took a break, and we would have preferred that because we would have still got a good content.
Yeah, there was no proper closure to any couples in that show.
Yeah.
And then the dad just in 1 minute was like, oh, I'm fine with it now.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, it was just like, everything should have had like longer arcs. Like, even when Fighter and Tudor broke up or whatever, for it was like one episode, like, nothing felt like it was well developed at that point.
Yeah.
And so everything could have gone into more detail and had a better resolution if they had just like been able to give it more time and more thought into it.
So I was going to say, one of the other ones that I think really had a tough time because of COVID was The End of Love.
Tussar.
Tussar
went okay. Like they messed up the makeup and stuff, but it was
But
fine.
like he's
Oh, yeah.
still pretty. I forgive the makeup. I'm not bothered.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he is cute. I don't know what people
Yeah.
are talking about.
Exactly. Like leave Win alone.
Yeah, he's got hips. Let him sway those
Exactly.
hips.
Sachet. Exactly.
Yes, sashay away. But like Love Mechanics, it kind of
Oh my god.
started off okay. Like I'm not gonna talk about the controversy of the novel
Yes.
versus the
Okay.
show. That's just yeah, I won't go into deep in that right now. But like how they filmed it, it started out well, and then they sort of got really rushed. And
Yeah.
I remember the last episode was kind of just
It wasn't an episode, it was a
no,
part. Just one
right?
part.
Yeah. And I'm just like, what is this shit? You make us wait for this episode, and then it's not an episode? What?
I was like, that's not even an episode. I was like, that's a part, and then interviews. I was like, I don't want to say that.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So it felt really rushed how they ended it. And when they did, they actually waited a long time with the next part, This Is Love. But you can see in the whole show the restrictions they had.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I've read the novel.
I know the book was so good as well.
Yeah,
Like, I
right.
really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was
And
really
there was so
good,
much
and
to
they
miss
just
out.
botched it.
Yeah. I was looking forward to it, and I was like, oh, we're just gonna get a little tiny bit, and then that's done.
Yeah. And like the actors are so good too. I love the actors of End of Love.
I know.
Ah,
Yes,
it's so
definitely
sad.
Prom and
But
Ben's are super cute.
do we know if what they're releasing next year is a remake, or are they like doing a different story, or I
don't know.
because I
I
feel
know
like
B and Mark's there.
yeah, I feel like they said that they're gonna remake Love Mechanic to a full show.
Yeah, I think it was because
I think I did see something about
yeah, it was
that.
like if it gets so many views,
Yeah.
or something like that, and then it was going to be a full series.
Mm-hmm.
But then we never really heard anything, and then they released a picture, but it doesn't look like the couple doesn't look like any of the other couples in the show.
Yeah, because I think I read somewhere that the other picture they showed was kind of a different story.
But I want more Prom and Ben's, please. Like, come on.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, I love Prom. Oh.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, I just hope that they don't like now they'll have more time to do the show and do it proper credit. And yeah, just don't follow the novel too close. What else? What else? Oh, utter disappointment. My gear, your gown.
Oh God, I couldn't even start that.
I haven't started either.
It was horrible. It was so boring. I mean, I know some people enjoyed it because, like, it's not that it's that bad. It's just really boring. I mean,
Yeah.
it's basically a bromance. Like, they barely touch each other. Like, there's one kiss, and the the side couple, the actor Fiat, is that his name?
Yeah.
Like he did
That's
yeah,
his
he
name.
did a really good job. That couple was kind of the only reason why I watched it at all.
That's why I wanted to watch it because I really like Fiat, and I was excited to see that he was gonna be in something, and then I was kind of like monitoring people's comments as the first couple episodes air, and I was having like such a hard time finishing things already. I just did not think that I would be able to get through like more than one or two episodes with the way people were saying that it was going pacing wise.
Yeah, and the personalities of the main couple, they're kind of really bland. You kind of don't remember them at all.
Yeah, I most of the stuff I saw about it was surrounding the side couple. Like, I barely saw people talk about the main couple ever.
Yeah, no, it was a major disappointment.
Yeah, I'll probably not watch it, I don't think.
That's the one that's like the first, because My Gear, Your Gown, Manner of Death, and then Between Us are all part of like some special thing with WeTV, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that was the first of those three. And I remember being like really worried that what if that means like Manner of Death is going to be horrible too? And so far, it's not, thank God. And I hope that it stays the same way for Between Us. Like, hopefully, My Gear, Your Gown was just the fluke of the three, and the other two are very, very good through the ending.
Yeah.
I was looking through, like, I was doing some like year in review stuff on Tumblr because I make gifs on Tumblr, and I was looking through all of my old like Until We Meet Again gift sets, and I was just like thinking about Boon Prem and thinking about how excited I am for their series, and I just cannot wait to see it in action.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing.
They have really good chemistry, and like
they're so fun.
Yeah, and they're very open to like the BL world. Like they're genuinely interested in it, right? They're not just in it for the fame and stepping stone.
I think that can be like the whole Until We Meet Again cast, not to go back to like I don't know, like that started in 2019, but it aired a lot of it in 2020, so it could kind of be on the edge of a 2020 drama.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's this can be said about like their whole cast, especially because they did have two of their cast members are LGBT, so I think that makes a big difference as well. But they're all very like they cared about the characters and they cared about the story, and you could tell that they were really passionate about the story that Until We Meet Again tells. And I think that made a big difference, like seeing them interact in real life as well as in the show. And I think that's what makes it so exciting to know that we're going to get to see them again in 2021.
What did you guys think about why?
I didn't watch that either.
I did not watch it.
It looked like too much crap for me.
You like okay, a little bit seriously. I don't like crack shows. I think something about the over the top humor just doesn't resonate with me. But watching why, it's I don't know why, but it's just there's something with that show that's just so utterly ridiculous that it makes it interesting. Yeah, because some of the stuff that happens, it's just like there's no way a show could put that in their show, right? This plot, the plot is just it's so far out of the box that you don't know where you are. I mean, at one point they get pulled into washing machines and they're swimming around in the washing machines. And
oh my God.
What is happening? No, I can actually recommend people watching that because if you go into it with the understanding that it's gonna be full on crack, then you're fine.
Interesting. I feel like if you're gonna do crack, you really have to commit to just like 110%. Like if you do crack and then like you try and have like a really like meaningful like romance or something or storyline in there, then like it just makes it seem weird. But like if you commit like 110% to it being crack, then it can work. Like it's like you said, you have to go in knowing what type of drama it's supposed to be, and it meets those expectations.
Yeah, because did you guys see My Day, the Filipino one?
No.
I saw some of that, but that's like the same. It's like it's just crazy.
Yeah, I went into My Day expecting it to be actual boys love, and not crack. But for me,
even the filament is not the best.
Yeah, I kind of feel like they didn't go too far. Like they didn't take it all out. So I'm just sitting there just like, what is going on even? What are they trying to do? They're not going over the top enough, and they're not being serious enough. Like they're somewhere in between, and it's just garbage. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people liked it, but just for me, I there was so many stuff that I was just sitting there and just, this is so annoying. And then you hear that the actors weren't paid, and it's just,
Oh
Oh
no.
wow.
yeah, one of the main actors went out on social media and said that he wouldn't be doing any more projects with the company Oxen Production, because they didn't pay him. They were supposed to do a season 2, but that's not happening anymore.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
god.
Mm-hmm.
That's terrible.
Yeah, and it's kind of, I felt kind of uncomfortable because they had a lot of in-show ads about skin whitening.
Oh
Oh
no.
my
Yeah,
god.
like body lotions and stuff that made your skin whiter.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm just, okay, is that even...
That stuff still goes on air there. That's insane.
Mm-hmm. So I just felt like the show in itself just fell flat completely. I actually felt a little offended by the whole thing. So yeah, and they like dedicated one episode just to the freaking dog, Chuck Chuck.
Oh,
What?
I didn't really
What?
see that for that.
Yeah, the dog gets
Someone kidnapped
kidnapped
it.
or something, and they're like running after it, and it's just, it's so
He was like
freaking
crying
boring.
like really bad. I was like, calm down.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Oh my goodness.
Oh God. Yeah. So no, my day wasn't really my thing at all.
Mm.
And I've barely watched any of the other Filipino ones.
I missed one off the list. I was just looking at it before. And Boys Lockdown, that was amazing. That was really, really good. I went into it like not expecting much at all. And it was really, really good. It's cute and short, but the chemistry's like really there. And most of it they do kind of like it's kind of over the phone, but then they meet like against the rules and stuff, and it's really good, like really
Oh,
cute.
interesting.
Yeah, I
And I think
watched one
me and
episode. So
yeah, me and Paul like paid like I think it was like I paid like 90 pence to see the episode 80. I was like, oh my God, it was really, really good.
oh, that's good. I might put that back on my list. I haven't just couldn't muster the.
No, it's cute. It could definitely gets cuter. And
Mm-hmm.
the last episode is really good. I think there's might be a season 2
Okay, cool.
coming.
That's good. Like there were a lot of Filipino BLs coming out, and there was a lot of trashy ones.
Mm.
Yeah.
I
I think
know.
it was hard for me to be able to see like which ones are people actually enjoying versus like which ones are just not it. So like I just kind of stayed away from Filipino BL as a whole. And now like I'm going back and hearing people's recommendations about like which ones are actually worth watching. And so I can add those to my homework list to actually watch.
Agreed. I feel like some of these Filipino ones are kind of just going into it for the cash grab.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I know some of the, like on Twitter, some of the accounts that like announce BLs that are airing and stuff, they kind of steered away from a lot of them just because they know they're cash grabs. And yeah,
Yeah.
like I started watching the boy band one, and I
Oh my God,
it's
Pixie.
yeah, I
Oh my
know.
God.
It's
It
so
was awful.
Oh, it's so bad quality. and just the dancing, and it kind of reminds me of The Boys in 2 Minutes too. It's just
It was a
Oh
concert in
no.
like a little
it's
room. Like
uh
the concert was like in a little room, and then
yeah.
one guy went in the pool and he was wearing these tiny little speedo things. I was like, oh my
Mm-hmm.
god, what am I watching?
Yeah. Yeah, it was completely like it felt like just yeah, it's a cash grab basically. It was, and the
Oh god.
sound was horrible. It sounded like they only could afford one microphone. So
Oh
Mm.
no.
yeah, so just one guy had a microphone on him, and the rest kind of just had to be close so they could be
Yeah.
caught into that microphone.
Oh my god.
It was so bad.
I was like, I'm just gonna put this on to see what it's. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and that one guy and his love interest, they're just sitting there playing mobile games all the time. That's
Oh
What?
my
the
god.
whole plot. It was so
Let's just
bad.
say you couldn't believe what you were saying. I was like,
Yeah,
what the hell?
yeah. Oh god. I don't mind low budget series.
It's low budget and there's like not even trying.
Yeah, right. You can do a lot with little money, right? Like the series Calculating Love. Like they kind of struggled with the money for it.
Yeah, I did see that.
So the episodes were like coming out like a month at a time, or there wasn't like an upload schedule because they had to get money to finish them. So, but still, like the end part, like the end product was really well done, and it was cute. Like it's short, but it's cute, and it's
That's
interesting.
kind of how it was with the web drama He, She, It
Mm-hmm.
with Jeff and is the other his name
Gameplay.
Gameplay?
Mm-hmm.
It started back in like I think it started last year, but like the uploading was so sporadic because they could only afford to do them like every so often. Like
Mm-hmm.
one part there was like 3 months between, and then I think like between that part and the finale there was like almost like 6 months or something.
Mm-hmm.
But like it was still like it was a low budget production,
Mm-hmm.
but like it was still like a very interesting story, and like you got a really good pairing out of it who are
Mm-hmm.
now, being able to do other things, which is really exciting to see.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like not always, low budget doesn't always mean something has to be bad. And I
Yeah.
think that there are good examples of that.
Yeah, He She It was really interesting. It kind of confusing at times because they're kind of
Yeah.
jumping back and forth, and yeah. But it was good, and Jeff and Gameplay really did a good job, and their whole ingredients series is also
Mhm.
very good, even though it's like a
Mhm.
big ass
It's
commercial.
like an advertisement, yeah.
Yeah. But it's
And it's still good. It's still
yeah.
better than some BLs this year.
Yeah, and they're so cute together. And Jeff has a
I
really nice voice, and he's really good at
Oh my
singing.
god, his
I
voice is
I love
gorgeous.
him. I love that he's on Spotify now.
I'm so excited that they're gonna be in Kin Porsche next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard a lot of people were confused because they're the side
The names are
couple.
like the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The side couple is called Kim and Porsche, and the
And then
main
the other one is
couple is
Kin
Kin
Porsche.
and Porsche.
That's so
No.
weird.
It's super weird. But I'm really excited. I'm so glad that they get like more.
They're gonna be like a full-length series. Is
Mm-hmm. I'm super excited about it.
there anything else? Any other series that we want to touch on?
Oh, we should
I haven't
probably
watched like anything.
yeah, we should probably talk about this. Together.
Mm. I was figuring that was gonna come up. We
I
can't talk
like
about
it.
2020.
I liked it. Like I didn't. Like it was really funny and like kind of thing that you put on like just to cheer yourself up and just like really
Yeah,
like Green was hilarious. Um,
it was a
but
fun drama.
yes, definitely. But I just yeah, I like it. I liked it. I'm just not a massive fan of Brightwing, but I like them in that series.
Mm-hmm.
I think when a drama blows up like that one did, which a BL has literally never done before. It's like people go in with the expectation that it's going to be like, I don't know, I think people thought it was like a groundbreaking series because it got so popular, but like it was just another university BL. And like when you take it for what it was a good drama if you weren't expecting it to be like the best thing to ever happen to the industry. The only reason it blew up is because people
The
liked
actors
Brightwin
are
as
so
actors.
pretty.
They're gorgeous people, and that's that caught the eye of the general public, and that's why it blew up. But like the drama itself, it's a basic drama, and it's good for what it is.
Yeah, like I went on Twitter and saw like, because a lot of like, I'm on Army Stan Twitter, and a lot of people there were watching it, but
a lot of K-pop fans got there.
Yeah, and I remember seeing that everyone was basically just talking about all the actors being so pretty. Like,
yeah, that's why it got popular.
So,
and like Bright's a good singer, so like people were like, oh, he can sing too, and so that got people like into him.
Oh, I love Bright.
He's beautiful, and I love his voice. Like his soundtracks from the show were some of my favorite BL soundtracks from this year.
Yeah.
I think that it was just people had different expectations because of how popular it got.
Yep.
And that's why a lot of people are very vocal about disliking it, because I think it didn't live up to what they thought it would be. But if you look at it from just like what it's meant to be, like you said, Coco, like it was funny, it was easy to watch, and like those things alone make things like that's what I like in a BL of that genre. And so I think it did that well. And even though there was the whole episode 11 issue in the high five, I think they did rectify that, was still together.
Yeah, I agree.
Like we got 5 more episodes where we got to see them be much more of a couple, and we got the kiss that everyone wanted. So like if you put Together and Still Together into one big like 17 episode show or whatever, it works, and I think it was decent.
Yeah, and I remember reading that the high five, that part was filmed like one of
it
the
was filmed
first
at the beginning of filming.
So obviously they won't be as comfortable playing with acting with each other.
Yeah.
They filmed like all the university, like all the stuff with like performances and stuff like that at the beginning, and then all the like later stuff, like that's why like in the middle of the series, like episodes like 5 through 10 or whatever were like were really good, because that was filmed later, and when Brightwood knew each other better and had like developed more of a bond with each other, I guess. And so putting like the stuff from the finale in episode 11 at the end, it kind of made it feel like they regressed backwards. But like when they filmed it, it actually it was just like a weird, and like I get filming schedules are weird, but it just kind of, it did do disservice to the way things had developed in the beginning of, or in the middle of that series.
Yep.
So I can understand why it frustrated people for it to end like that. And that's why I think it's better if you like look at it like Still Together and Together as just one big series, and that way it doesn't end at episode 12 or whatever it was, but there's still those other 5 episodes that make it seem much more cohesive.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised because after Still Together aired, I was reading comments by people saying that everything looked so forced. Like, oh, they forced in a kiss here and they forced in this there. And I'm just, okay, you asked for this.
Yeah.
That bothered me so much. The amount of people I saw complaining about the kiss after they complained about there not being a kiss. I was like, what do you want? Like I had to like not fight with people, but like I really had to like have discussions about this, because people wanted more PDA, they gave us that. People wanted to kiss, they gave us that. Like they gave everything that people complained about, and then people still weren't happy. And I think at that point people were just determined to make it out to be a bad thing. And
People
so
just love to
there was
complain.
consoling them.
Yeah, I think they kind of went into Still Together with kind of the mindset that they're not gonna like it.
Yeah, exactly. I see not inklings, like rumors. There's a lot of stuff floating around on Twitter that people think that they're going to have an Our Sky type special too, because it seems like right when are filming things very together-ish again. So people think that there might be something else coming next year, kind of in the Our Sky realm. So that'll be interesting to see if it happens.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting with this whole mentality going around that people, there's a lot of people who have really strong feelings about Brightwin, that they think they don't fit together at all, and then people get mad that they're gonna be in F4 and not a couple.
It's like what do you want from them at that point? It's like you don't like seeing them together, but you get mad when they do a het drama.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are you? It's just people are determined to be angry with whatever they do, and that's what happens whenever something gets really big. Like people have to fight it for some reason, and it's just unfortunate. I think they are good friends in real life, and I think that the chemistry that they give off is friendship, and they don't do as much of like the fan servicey type interactions that people might want to see. But like if you look at them just as like good friends who are acting together, like I think they have good chemistry in real life as friends.
True. Just at the end, we should probably just talk about it because they're one of the biggest ones, like Oxygen.
Oh,
I haven't
yeah, I
finished
did
it.
not
Yeah.
finish it.
You didn't?
I didn't hate it, but it's just I do like it because it's got Nut or Nuttin, and I love him. But it's just like at the minute I'm just like not motivated at all to watch them. So I will watch it
That's kind of
eventually.
how I feel.
It's like getting in the mood to watch, put something on and watch it. But I will get around to finishing it eventually. But I think I only watched about 5 episodes, maybe.
Yeah.
I think I got through 7, and I just like I was enjoying it, and I just for whatever reason I fell behind. Like I think I was watching a lot of Korean dramas at the time, so like I kind of fell behind on BL, and then by the time I was like I'm gonna go catch up, it was already like episode 11 or something that was airing, and I just like didn't have a lot of motivation. There was nothing I particularly disliked about it. Like, there's no reason that I don't want to finish it, but it's just kind of like what Coco said. Like, I have to find that motivation again.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything revolutionary about Oxygen. It was like aesthetically very pleasing, and
It was very pretty.
Yeah, and the beginning was paced really good, I think, but it kind of lost that as the story went by.
It did slow down a bit.
It lost a lot of like I don't know how to explain like flavor. Once the main couple got together, and it's just the whole thing with the father, and yeah, it was just weird.
The doctor storyline, I hated
oh yeah,
that
yeah,
storyline
I've completely blocked that from my mind. That isn't a part of the show for me. Like I skipped all those scenes. It's like the most
I think
horrible thing.
when I go back and finish it, I'll probably skip all of those scenes because I'm just like, I I don't like it. I feel so bad for that poor little hedgehog doctor. Like, he clearly liked the other doctor, and the other doctor was just using him, and it just made me so sad. And then her brother was brought into it and
Yeah.
liked people too, and I'm just like, what is this?
Yeah, he kept using one after the
I'm
other,
so
and
angry.
it's ridiculous. And at the end, do you want me to spoil it? Spoiler alert!
Please,
Spoiler
go
alert!
ahead.
Just
Do
go for
not,
it.
if you haven't watched it or don't want a spoiler, don't listen. At the end, he confesses everything to her, and she kind of is mad for like 5 minutes, and then she
Oh
agrees
God.
to go out with him.
Wow, what a
God.
surprise!
And then they put the little brother and the hedgehog doctor together.
Oh my
No.
god,
Well,
what?
they
Why do
don't
they
like
do
they
that?
don't make it obvious, but they imply it very heavily.
Oh
Oh my
god.
God, I hate that so much.
Mhm.
I just want to save that little hedgehog doctor and that
Mhm.
poor little brother
Mhm.
who is like a high schooler who is apparently
Hmm.
trying to date doctors. Like,
Yeah,
what is
like the
happening?
age gap there. What is that?
I'm like, I know you can't always think about things logically, but like, logically, a medical doctor who works in a hospital would probably be like 30, and that
Mm.
kid was like 17. And I'm just like, wait, what is happening here? Like, why didn't they just put the two doctors together like they should have?
Mhm.
Mm.
It was just weird. I did not like that at all. I think that was part of the reason why I didn't go back and watch it because I felt like that storyline was getting a lot of screen time and I didn't want it to.
Yeah. And Thorn Type 2. I haven't watched
Coco,
it.
that's your domain.
I've only watched 2 episodes, I think.
Mm.
But I do like the side couples. The side couples are really cute. I don't know any names yet. But I just want to see more of Boat and the Doctor.
Mhm.
Champ, I should say. I
Okay.
want to see more of him because he's just gorgeous. But the other couple that lives in the same apartments as Tarn and Type, they are super cute. But I'm not bothered about seeing Tarn Type that much. I just want the side couples.
Mm. I've heard a lot of people think that there's not enough Thorn Type.
There is plenty. There's plenty of Tarn Type in it. They're just giving room for other couples.
Yeah, I feel like I haven't. I watched 2 episodes, but I got bored. I'm just okay. I love Mew Golf, but how often do I have to watch them make out? I mean,
Yeah,
it
I
gets
know.
boring. I'm sorry. You're
Well,
supposed to like build the tension and like it's the what's enjoyable is like the build up. But there's no freaking build
Yeah.
yeah.
up. They're just going at
It's
it
just
every
the first
freaking
episode
minute.
in the shower.
Yeah, it's just like I
I
don't need
think
that.
when you're gonna make a second season with an already established couple, like you've got to introduce like some type of like external conflict or something to make the story like actually have substance. But at the same time, that can be a double-edged sword because that's what they did with the second season of Together with Me, and we all know
Mm,
how that ended. So it's
mm-hmm,
like it's really hard to make a second season with established couples. I feel like because it's like you either have them not doing anything or you have them doing stuff that's just like a complete assassination of their original characters. So,
yeah, for me, I think it would have been better if they got Mew and Golf a new project instead of doing a second
yeah.
season.
Yeah, we might need something new, definitely.
Mm. And like Thorn Type, like the first season, it was really good. There was a lot of like twists and turns, and you couldn't like really predict what was gonna happen, and I had a really good impression of it. But this time, the story is just blah. I just
Mm,
I don't need like a new why are you, right? I don't need to
yeah.
just watch them going at it. I want a story. And I love Mew Golf. I do. But yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna watch the whole thing. I might if I get bored sometime. uh,
Yeah, it would be cool to see them in a new project. I
mm-hmm.
mean, and I feel like that can do a lot for like their dynamic as actors too. Like, if you see them in like a new role that's not just Tarn and Type,
Mm-hmm.
and you get to see their acting abilities and their chemistry kind of expand to a different level. It's like what we're getting now with Manner of Death. Like
Mm-hmm.
it helps us see Maxwell in like a whole different light than just Corn and Knock.
Yeah. And they've kind of like uh, grown up past the whole school thing. And I think that's
And
great.
get to see them in roles that fit that.
We've seen enough of school BLs.
Yeah.
We are grown as women.
I don't need to see an almost 30-year-old man play a 20-year-old. Like, that's just not realistic.
Yeah. I'm kind of like, the reason why I think I'm kind of sick of the whole school stuff is because it's always about finding, discovering your sexuality kind of thing. And your first love and all that stuff. I want some drama that's like established.
Yeah, I agree.
You already know your sexuality and all that, and it's just yeah, it opens up like a whole new spectrum of plots and ideas you can use instead of the same old stuff. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it's interesting to see the trailers that GMM TV came out with. Okay, there's some school stuff there too, but like Not Me looks really interesting, and yeah, I think that we're gonna see a good year of BL next year. I hope so.
There's a lot of exciting things that seem to be in the works.
Just as a final topic, which of the announced dramas are you most excited about?
I think for me, I've recently gotten really excited about Lovely Writer. I rewatched the that like 7-minute trailer they put out a couple months ago, and I just like for some reason got so excited about it, like watching that again. And like you said, like it's not school based, like it's a career based thing. They're an actor and a writer, so I think that's going to be really nice. And I love Cal. I'm excited to see him act with Up. Like I think their chemistry looks pretty good. So that one really is exciting for me. And then of course, Not Me and Bad Buddy, which are like the two big ones that I think like everyone seems pretty hyped for.
What about you, Coco?
I think I know people are like sick of the Cinderella thing, but I like, and what's it called? How do you say it again?
Oh, Enchanté.
Yeah, I quite like that. The look of that one, and um, to be honest, all of them look really good. But a Lovely Writer is going to be like refreshing, like a different kind. And I love Cow. Like he's just beautiful.
I love Cal a lot.
I know he's a bit hard faced sometimes, but I think that's like kind of a charm. He's charm.
I agree. It's charming.
Yeah, and this is like a different role. Like his last role was like basically he had to hide from like a suicidal thing. It was awful. So like it's not like a really happy role to do, anyways. Because it
Yeah,
kind of
this
had to
character
be
seems
hard
like
faced. Yeah, like
it's going to be
it's
a
gonna.
very bright character.
Yeah, it's gonna be
So
fun,
it'll
and
be
we're
cool
gonna
to
see
see
like
him.
yes, definitely a different
Maybe some
side. So
comedy.
yeah, so it's gonna be so cute. So I can't wait to see him in that.
Yeah.
What about you, Pixie?
Yeah, for me, I like Not Me is like definitely the one I'm looking forward to the most, just because I love Gunn. I think he's such a good actor, and this is gonna like really show how much he can do, because like he's playing twins. So
Yeah, that's gonna make it really interesting.
yeah, but I'm also really intrigued by the movie that's coming out on Valentine's. What's it called with the Bass and Perth?
Oh yeah,
Oh, I don't remember the title.
World I Loved, or some. What's the title again?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I can't remember the title, but it's coming out on Valentine's Day, and it looks interesting because there's like really like they look really rough, and it feels like kind of like some fighting stuff, and yeah, it's
Let the world know I love you. That's what it's called.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so I'm excited about
Google that real quick.
And obviously
It's an interesting pairing.
Right? I didn't expect it at all. It came like a really big shock.
Bass and Perth. Interesting.
Especially when Perth has gone out earlier and said that he wouldn't do anything, like any more BLs. So
that does make me kind of wary because I feel like it might end up more in the bromance zone. But hey, if the chemistry is good, and I'll still enjoy it.
Yeah, I did see a still of them kissing though. So
yeah.
yeah.
Well then, okay, Perth.
I think it wasn't Twitter, but 100% they were kissing. So
interesting.
So that'll be interesting. Yeah, except for that, it's like between us. I'm gonna.
I totally forgot. Yeah. Between us is coming next year.
Forget?
We just talked about how excited we were for it.
There's so much coming out. There is so much BL coming out next year. Like, and we don't even know all the stuff that's gonna come out of like the Philippines.
Like all the stuff later in the year.
Yeah, we're gonna be swimming in it.
It's gonna be a packed year, and I'm ready.
As long as it's good, I'm completely for it.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I'm gonna give every show like a fighting chance. I'm not gonna go into it expecting something to be bad. So I'm gonna give it a chance, and if it falls flat on his ass, I'm just gonna stop watching.
The mindset.
Yeah.
The best mindset to have.
Yeah, so that was our wrap up of 2020.
Yay. A crazy year in general, but a pretty good year for BL, I would say.
Yes.
Something good came out of it, kind of.
Yeah. Something to keep us all distracted while we stayed inside all day, every day.
Very true. Okay, then we are off. Thanks for listening, guys. Bye.